Something occurred to me recently, and it's a quote that I actually remember from the book Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, um, where you see this kind of subtle irony in it. When I don't know how many people would maybe picked up on this when they read it, but later on, like towards the end of the novel, the justification, the philosophical justification for um, why books and essentially knowledge are being eradicated, is because they want people to learn from life instead. It's like that old adage, the school learn from the school of life, or I think that's a real adage, but um, I guess my point is that I think this is probably one of his cleverest, like this is probably one of, I think, Ray Bradbury's wittiest moves, like in terms of like portraying all the possible tricks that might be used in a dystopia like this. Because and the trick is that you're disguising actually like authoritarianism, this very cold authoritarianism, with this almost a kind of a hippie mentality. So it's there's two different branches to this. There's like the hippie sort of anti-establishment idea of looking inward and finding the answers in yourself, and there's also a slightly, you could argue, a slightly religious element to that too, of like, of intuition, of like knowledge being in your heart, but the rational sort of I guess empirical, I guess you'd call that, knowledge that you would get from facts or external things is just, that's just superficial, and that's also a very common theme that you see in religion quite often, about the issue of faith, of understanding things for reasons that are not necessarily rational, or but I wonder sometimes, like, if in one of the AI sort of dystopias that I've been discussing, and if how interesting it would be to portray it, to have this sort of moralistic approach, this kind of towards education, combined with the belief in robots becoming citizens, and then them actually being given the throne, them having the superior knowledge, and governing the people who think that they're doing themselves a service simply by eradicating anything external and only relying on themselves.